Hi, good morning, students. Welcome to Samarth series of CUET launched by top rankers. This is a great opportunity for the people who have been waiting for something like this to prepare for their last moment concerns regarding the CUET exam. We all know it's such a big deal for people like us who are preparing and wanting and desiring to go to the colleges that we want to, right? The top universities, the top colleges. But this one exam, very quick deal to clear. So this series would help you out with the same thing, right? So as we say, well begun is half done, right? So let us begin with the series without much ado. Okay. By the way, I am Subhashri. I would be taking your sessions every day at 11 for the English language. Okay. Let's begin. Now, before I begin with my session, I'll just guide you about what else is coming further because it's not just about English, it's about all your concerns. So, the next session, post my session, would be the session of history by Abhishek sir. Now, he is a great teacher great faculty when it comes to history. I have watched his classes myself. So, you don't need to worry about anything. Be ready for the sessions and please also make note of the other sessions that would be coming up today. Okay, so you are all settled for the day with us. Okay, chalo. Now, I hope you have made a note. We are coming to the very first question. Now, before I begin with the questions, I'll give you a little bit of guideline how the CUET is connected with English, right? Or how it is taken up with English language. We usually see 50 questions, out of which, of course, you have to do only 40 because there is a negative marking. So we have to be very thorough, very sure about the questions that we pick up. So 40 questions we take up. Now, in these 40-50 questions, you have passages, questions based on passages. You have questions based on vocabulary, right? So you have passages, vocabulary. In vocabulary, you have questions like synonyms, antonyms, idioms and phrases, proverbs, spellings, like something like spelling, which we never thought would be there, right? Who asks spelling these days? But this is one thing they ask, and where you might end up doing some sort of mistake. So we'll also practice that. So you have spellings, idioms and phrases, synonyms and antonyms. Also, fill ups. You also have fill ups, right? They might ask you to fill a sentence with the correct word, right? So that will also be there. Apart from this, though last CUET did not have questions with reference to grammar, but to be on the safer side, because they have not said that grammar will not be there, right? So to be on the safer side, we'll also practice a little bit of grammar, right? So we also have grammar. Apart from this, you have rearrangement of sentences, right? I think this sort of sorts you out. At least for today's session, this will be sorting you out a little bit, right? Now let us begin with the session. Okay. Uh, Now, the very first question. In the following question, out of the four given alternatives, select the one which best expresses the meaning of the idiom or the phrase. Now, the idiom is jump on the bandwagon. Sorry, jump on the bandwagon. Wait a sec. I think something is going on. Okay, jump on the bandwagon. Now, jumping on the bandwagon means doing something which everybody else is doing, right? So it's sort of a popular activity, bandwagon. So many people are there on the wagon, and you are also jumping on the wagon. So it's something which is popular, which is hip, and everybody else is doing. So I'll also be doing that. So correct option over here would be C, join in a popular activity. Okay, those who got this, very good. Okay, next one. Wheels within wheels. That means imagine there is a wheel, and within that wheel, you have another wheel. So, what would it mean? A complicated activity, a complex thing, right? So, the correct option over here is D, complication, some sort of complication, complicated activity that you have that has come up, right? Wheels within the wheels. Also, when it comes to idioms, even if you don't know, you can always guess it if you focus on, since idioms do not have particular sense or meanings, right? So you have to sometimes use guesswork. So if there is a wheel within the wheel, it is complicated, right? How will you fit a wheel within the wheel? So that way, if you use a little bit of logic, you can also get to the answers. Third one, spill the beans. Now there are beans and you are spilling them. So to guess if you have sort of guessed it right, it would be D, reveal the secrets. The secrets are like beans which are kept in a jar and you have spilled them. You have revealed those secrets. Okay, so this is spilling the beans. Now, oh, I missed out on this one, figures of speech. Who thought that figures of speech would be important beyond the poetry part of our life, right? Poetry and all of these sad. But it's very, very simple, and very simple figures of speech will also be coming. Okay? The righteous shall flourish as the palm tree. Now, the righteous, that is the righteous people, the generous people, the you can say the great people, shall flourish as the palm tree. Now, the hint over here is as, right? So, any sort of comparison between two unlike things, okay? Any sort of comparison between two unlike things using as or like means simile, right? So using as or like, when you sort of have a comparison, it is simile, right? Metaphor is a comparison between two unrelated things without using as or like or a direct comparison. Okay? Alliteration is when you have similar letters repeating. Okay? That would be alliteration. And personification is when you give a human quality to something which is not human. For example, the walking pen. It is not human and it cannot walk. So you are giving a human quality to something like this. It is called personification. Okay. So of course, here the answer would be simile. Okay, before we move to the other questions, I'll just give you a brief what else is coming up to you, what else we are providing to you today and the rest of the days coming forward. We have a test series which is launching this week, and this is the first week schedule. Especially for today, please pay attention to the part that we have a test combination of English language and general test, which is free, which is for all the streams. Okay, so you can totally take the advantage of this and be a part of it. Okay, please do that. Now, coming back. The fluorescent light was the sun during our test. The fluorescent light. Fluorescent colors, the green, the lime green sort of colors, the colors we used to love when we were kids and we used to see on sketch pens, right? Those kind of colors. So the fluorescent light was the sun during our test. That means it was acting like a sun during our examination or our test, right? So what would it be? Fluorescent light acting like the sun. Now we have no as or like, but the comparison is happening, right? The comparison is taking place. So of course the answer is D, metaphor. Okay, since there is a comparison between two indirect or unrelated things, without using as or like, that is metaphor. Okay, by the way, what is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is the figure of speech where you have sound words. For example, the tick tock of the clock. Okay, the purring of the cat. These kind of sound words, when they are used to refer to something, that is called onomatopoeia. Okay, so this is not onomatopoeia, we know. This is not simile because we don't have any as or like. And of course, there is no alliteration over here. Okay. Now, one grammar question for a change. Select the correct passive form of the given sentence. Where did you spend your holidays? This is a very simple sentence. Where did you spend your holidays? Right. So, where did this person spend the holidays? So, we have to change it. Now, of course, holidays would not come over here since it's a question, right? Question would be there. That question word will be there. Okay, so where is going to be there? Now we have two options over here. Of course, we are eliminating C and D. Kyunki, how was your holiday spent? Makes no sense. How is also not there. And where and how are two different question words. Incorrect. What did you do in your holidays? Again, not what the question is saying. Incorrect. Now we have two options. Where were your holidays spent? Where you spent your holidays. Now we have one auxiliary verb over here, did. Now, did in passive voice changes to were. Okay, it will be replaced by were. So, the correct answer over here would be A. Where were your holidays spent? Okay, where you spent your holidays leaves out this part, the did part. Okay, next. In the following questions, one part of the sentence may have an error. Find out which part of the sentence has an error and click the button corresponding to it. If the sentence is free from error, click the no error option. Why you copying your homework from someone else? Now, there could be a doubt over here because a lot of times we see people saying, why are you doing this? And it has sort of become a lexicon in today's word, why you. But this is wrong because you are talking to someone, there needs to be something over here. And what is that thing that needs to be here? That is are. Why are you copying your homework from someone else? Right? So the part where we have the mistake is A. Why are you? Why you is incorrect. Okay? Yes, good. Why are you? Now, again, we have to find the error over here. He is having an attack of fever every day for the last few days. I would like any one of you to tell me what will be the change over here. He is having an attack of fever every day for the last few days. Where is the mistake and what is the mistake? He is having an attack of fever every day. If anyone can tell me. Is it C or something else? Somewhere else. Where is the mistake? Yeah, A. Good, good. Aditya Vardhan, good. A is the part where we have the error. But what is the error? What is the error in A? A is the part where we have error, but what is the error? Yes, very good, Shubhra. It is he has been having. Okay? He has been having. Because this action is continuing from a certain point of time for a few days. That means this is not happening right now. He is having an attack. If it was he is having an attack, it should be right now. Okay, but they are talking about for the last few days, right? So it has been happening from certain point of time. Okay, so that is why it is he has been having. Okay, he has been having. Right. Next one, feeling. Okay, In the following question, out of the four alternatives, select the alternative which is the best substitute of the phrase. Okay? Feeling or showing deep and solemn respect. Okay? Deep and very, you can say, serious sort of respect, some sort of respect, a very deep seated respect. Which would be the word that we would have over here? Is it pious? Is it reverent? Is it humble? Is it devout? What will be the word over here? Pious, reverent, humble, devout. Tell me. Yes, right, Prakriti. It is be reverent. Oh, the moment I switch there, it is be reverent. Okay. Pious is used with reference to having piety towards religion, piousness, purity, that sort of pious. Okay. This is not a respect, at least not the kind of respect we are talking about here. Humble could be two things. One is humble, being humble in your behavior, okay, very down to earth person. That is one humble, humility. Another humble is coming from humble beginnings. जो हम बोलते हैं ना कि he is coming from humble beginnings. That means he is coming from a poor background or lowly background. He's not someone who is coming from a rich family. That humble. So not again not the word over here. Next one is devout. Devout again related to devotion, prayer. Okay, again not the word. Reverent is respect. Okay, the respectfulness, we say na, we welcome the reverend doctor this to the committee. So who is this, what is this reverend? Respect it. Okay, that is why the correct answer here would be reverend. Next one. In the following question, out of the four alternatives, select the alternative which is the best substitute of the phrase. Of a cat to make a low, continuous vibratory sound expressing contentment. Okay, so cat is making a sound expressing contentment. Now, buzz is the sound of bees, roar is the sound of lion. These two could be easily eliminated, right? Now we have to meow or to purr, meow or to purr, right? Now meowing, here you can make a mistake because you think meowing is the sound of the cat, right? So it could be the answer, but we have a complete explanation over here which refers to purring. The sound, the purring cat, which when it is sleeping next to you while you are doing something, and that slow sound that it makes, the moaning sound it makes, that is the purring sound, that it is content in the place, that it is there. Okay, meowing is its general vocab. Now, fill in the blank with the most appropriate word. As we move toward the future, it is a great dash that the experiences of all the people of the past are lost to us. So, let's get a little bit of idea from the context first. As we move toward the future, so we are stepping toward the future, moving toward something that is going to come. It is a great dash that the experiences of the people of the past, so there must have been people from the past a long time back, and their experiences are lost to us. We do not become, we do not get to be a part of their experiences. We do not get to be a part of the world that they were in, or to learn something from them. We are not getting that. So it is what? It could be what? The correct answer over here is tragedy. Tragedy. It is a great tragedy. Since we are talking about loss, a loss is happening to us. We are going to face a loss. and that loss leads to a sense of tragedy. Okay, it is a great tragedy. Now, altruistic is someone who helps people a lot, who is very generous, who is always there giving their hand to people, altruistic in nature. Considerate, the same thing. Play does not fit the context. So the only word that fits the context of the thought is tragedy. That if these experiences are lost, it would be a great tragedy to us. 15th one. Now we have seen some parajumbles coming in the CUET paper, so we will tackle few of them over here. Now, you can take a moment to read. So Jamshedji Tata was born in 1839 in a traditional Parsi family. There he worked in trading for some years in China and UK. Okay. He was a great believer in technology and revolutionized the Tata textile mills. He started his career as an apprentice in his father's store. This is the context. So we are talking about Tata, okay, Jamshedji Tata, and his life, how he began with the work. And now we have to reorder the whole thing accordingly. Okay, so of course we know the main topic should come first, and also we have got a clue over here that every set is starting with A. So A would be the first one, of course. Okay. Ab, he was born here. Next clue is he started his career, right? He was born in such a family. Now he has to start his career. So starting his career, D. He has started his career as an apprentice. Now, next step in the career, what has come next? It is this. Then he worked in trading for some years. B. And the last option remaining, C. He was a great believer in technology. So this is the last thing which happened. But before that, we get to know about his life and what he did. So correct option over here, we have A, D, B, and C. The correct option is A. A, D, B, and C. 16th one. Now, the clock struck 9:15 as Mamta hurried into the big block of offices. She resolved to leave home earlier from the next day. So she was a few minutes late on the first day of her job. The bus had crawled through the dense traffic. Now we have to, this is what has happened to Mamta on the first day of her job. She happened to be late because maybe she came out late out of her home. The bus was also not on time. So how do we reorder this particular paragraph? We all know A is going to come first. Very easily deducible that everyone is starting with A. Each one of them is starting with A, right? The clock struck 9:15 as Mamta hurried into the big block of offices. Okay? Now what? What will come next? We know B is not going to come because it says the next day. This resolution might be in the end. So we get an idea this resolution would be in the end. So options A and B can be eliminated. Now only we have A, D, C, B, A, C, D, B. Which would come first? A, C, D, B, A, D, C, B. She was a few minutes late. Why? पहले तो why was she late? Because the bus had crawled through the dense traffic, है ना? पहले बस लेट आएगी, तब वो लेट जाएगी ऑफिस, right? She left the home late. She got on the bus late. Bus was very slow. She reached the office late, and next day onward, she decided she would be on time. Okay, so A, D, C, and B would be the correct order. Okay. Okay, getting an idea? A, D, C, and B would be the correct order. Is it clear? Good. Chalo. Ab next one. Agla wala. Select the word which means the same as the given group of words. A disorder in which person eats too less because of abnormal fear of being fat. So ऐसा होता है, दिस इज अ साइकोलॉजिकल डिजीज एक्चुअली इन पीपल कि दे स्टार्ट दे स्टार्ट ईटिंग अ लॉट, एंड क्योंकि उनको लगता है उनकी भूख पूरी नहीं हुई है, फिर थोड़े दिन बाद दे स्टार्ट ईटिंग वेरी, दे डोंट ईट एट ऑल, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं खाते, एंड दे बिकम थिन लाइक दिस। आई थिंक सम सेलिब्रिटीज भी इसके शिकार हुए थे एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे, कि वो कुछ नहीं खाते हैं बिकॉज दे आर अफ्रेड दैट दे विल बिकम फैट। तो ये क्या चीज है जिससे पीपल are afraid that they would become fat? That this psychological disease is what? It is, the correct answer is A, anorexia. ठीक है, एनोरेक्सिया एक डिजीज है, साइकोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर है, वेयर पीपल हैव दिस फियर कि वो दे विल मोटापा हो जाएगा, दे विल बिकम फैट, सो दे स्टार्ट ईटिंग वेरी लेस. Yes, good. Bulimia is the reverse. Bulimia is when you eat too much. ओके, बट एक एक ये भी चीज होती है कि व्हेन दे ईट टू मच दे सॉर्ट ऑफ गो एंड प्यूक इट आउट, वो जाके उस सबको निकाल भी देते हैं, तो खाते बहुत हैं फिर उसको निकाल भी देते हैं. बोथ ऑफ देम आर एक्सट्रीम डिसऑर्डर्स. ठीक है, पर अब ऐसा नहीं है कि हम बाकी वर्ड्स का मीनिंग नहीं समझेंगे. तो नियोलॉजिज्म क्या होता है? नियोलॉजिज्म होता है व्हेन न्यू वर्ड्स आर कॉइन्ड, जब नए वर्ड्स कॉइन होते हैं. ओके, दिस इज नियोलॉजिज्म. ओके, एलिबाई, ये हमने बहुत सुना होगा, एलिबाई एलिबाई. इस केस में ये एलिबाई है, उसने खून किया था बट उसका एलिबाई आ गया. तो एलिबाई इज अ पर्सन और अ थिंग विच शोज कि दैट पर्सन, इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ एन एविडेंस टू, उसके जगह पे जो आके बताता है कि he was not there, he was not a part of the crime. ठीक है, so a sort of evidence, alibi. Okay, then topiary. Topiary एक आर्ट फॉर्म है. आर्ट फॉर्म कैसा आर्ट फॉर्म है? बेसिकली आपने देखा होगा बहुत बार ऐसे गार्डन्स वगैरह में, इफ यू वेंट टू गार्डन्स एंड ऑल, वहां पे दे जो आपके पेड़ होते हैं, जो बुशेस होती है, उनको अलग अलग शेप में काटा जाता है, टू डिजाइनर शेप में. तो दैट डिजाइंड शेप कटिंग ऑफ ट्रीज एंड बुशेस इज कॉल्ड टोपियरी. दिस आर्ट फॉर्म इज कॉल्ड टोपियरी. है ना? तो नेक्स्ट टाइम यू गो विजिट एनी सच प्लेस और तुम्हें दिखेगा कि अरे दिस इज टोपियरी. ओके, ओके, select the one which best expresses the meaning of paucity. पॉसिटी. ठीक है, अब पॉसिटी क्या होता है? देखो, एक बहुत इजी वे है इसको थोड़ा सा याद करना. सिटी है और इसका मतलब होता है बेसिकली स्कार्सिटी. स्कार्सिटी यानी कि बहुत कम, मिनिमम, लेस. ओके, अब इसमें से कौन सा होगा किसी चीज का लेस? Yes, the correct answer is B, shortfall. Very good. Shortfall, the shortage of something. There was the paucity of water in the city. Water नहीं था in the city. There was a paucity of water. ठीक है? Shortage of water. Shortfall of water. यहाँ पे एक और चीज आपको डाउट हो सकता है कि डाउनफॉल क्यों नहीं होगा मैम? क्योंकि डाउनफॉल होता है डिक्लाइन, एक पॉइंट से डिक्लाइन होना होता है डाउनफॉल. बट हम ये पॉसिटी का मतलब ये नहीं है कि एक पॉइंट से वो नीचे आके डिक्लाइन हुआ. इट मीन्स कि इन इट सेल्फ देर इज लेस, देर इज स्कार्सिटी, है ही नहीं, बहुत कम है, इसीलिए शॉर्टफॉल. ठीक है, ओके, पैसेज. एक पैसेजेस तो आएंगे बट दोज पैसेजेस वुड बी वेरी वेरी इजी टू टैकल. आई एम टेलिंग यू, आपको ज्यादा टाइम भी नहीं लगेगा समझने में. सो वाइल आई एम रीडिंग एंड एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस पैसेज, यू ऑल्सो रीड थ्रू दिस पैसेज एंड लेट मी नो द आंसर्स वाइल वी आर सॉल्विंग दिस पैसेज. ओके, so what is this passage talking about? Against Cassius' advice, Brutus allows Mark Antony to speak a funeral oration for Caesar in the marketplace. So आपको अगर पता है, आपने अगर कभी जूलियस सीजर की स्टोरी पढ़ी है, नहीं भी पढ़ी है तो रोमन किंग बहुत फेमस, उसको उसके फ्रेंड्स ने मार दिया था, सबने मिलके उसको मार दिया था, है ना? आपने सुना होगा, ओ ब्रूटस दाउ डिड दिस टू, ऐसा वाला. तो वो था ये सीन. तो अब वो मर चुका है, अब उसके लिए एक स्पीच बोली जा रही है एंड मार्क एंटनी इज गोइंग टू से दैट स्पीच. Okay, so against Cassius' advice, Brutus allows Mark Antony to speak a funeral oration for Caesar in the marketplace. He is allowed under the condition that first Brutus must address the people to explain the conspirators' reasons and their fears for Caesar's ambition. तो पहले वो सिर्फ ये नहीं बताएंगे कि वो मर गया है तो बहुत बुरा हुआ, वो ये बताएंगे कि उनने उनको उसको क्यों मारा, what was the reason, कि क्या थे कॉन्स्पिरेटर्स, ये जो कॉन्स्पिरेटर्स हैं अपने कैसियस, ब्रूटस, मार्क एंटनी, इनके रीजंस क्या थे उसको मारने के. ओके, एंड व्हाट वर देयर फियर्स कि सीजर क्या कर लेगा अपने एम्बिशन में. ठीक है, आफ्टर ब्रूटस स्पीक्स द क्राउड बिकम्स काम एंड सपोर्ट्स हिज कॉज. पहले तो ब्रूटस ने बोला, एंड ब्रूटस ने जब बोला तो लोगों को लगा ठीक है, वॉट एवर ही स्पीकिंग इज वेरी गुड, ठीक है, हमें समझ में आ रहा तुमने ये काम क्यों किया. ठीक है. However, Antony in his speech questions the motives of the conspirators and reminds the crowd of Caesar's benevolent actions and of his refusal to accept the crown. बट इसका उल्टा कर दिया मार्क एंटनी ने. मार्क एंटनी ने जाके क्या किया, उसने लोगों को सॉर्ट ऑफ सिंपथाइज कर दिया सीजर की तरफ कि उसने तुम्हारे लिए कितना सारा कुछ किया था. ओके, एंड since he has done so much for you, you should be feeling more for him rather than the people जिन लोगों ने उसको मारा है. Right? So, and however, Antony in his speech questions the motives and he questions कि इन लोगों ने क्यों मारा, ऐसा भी क्या कर दिया सीजर ने कि इन लोगों ने उसको मार दिया. तो उसने एंटेगनाइज कर दिया क्राउड को, गुस्सा ला दिया क्राउड के अंदर. तो जो ब्रूटस ने शांत किया था वो एंटनी ने एलिवेट कर दिया. ठीक है. He also reads them Caesar's will, in which Caesar leaves public land and money to each Roman citizens. अब वो और कैसे क्राउड को मोटिवेट कर रहा है, परसुएड कर रहा है, उसने क्या बताया, उसने सीजर की जो विल थी वो भी पढ़ दी, जो अपन प्रॉपर्टी की विल बनाते हैं ना वो पढ़ दी, जिसमें सीजर ने अपनी सारी प्रॉपर्टी एवरीथिंग हैज लेफ्ट टू द पीपल ऑफ रोमन सिटीजन, टू द पीपल ऑफ रोम. नाउ इमेजिन आपका जो आपका भला चाहता था वो मर गया, उसने अपनी सारी चीजें आपको दे दी एंड ही हैज बीन किल्ड. हाउ वुड द क्राउड फील, राइट? Antony's speech stirs the crowd into a murderous riot. Now they are feeling very angry कि ये क्या हुआ, ये जो हुआ वो तो गलत हुआ. Okay, and the conspirators are forced to flee from the city, or conspirators are forced to flee मतलब to run away, क्योंकि अब भाई दिख गया क्राउड कितने गुस्से में है, अब वो कुछ भी कर सकती है, वो नहीं देखेगी कौन है सामने, तो वो भाग गए वहां से. ठीक है. Now, Brutus and Cassius gather an army in northern Greece and prepare to fight the forces led by Mark Antony. अब ये लोग तो भाग गए, बट इन लोगों ने अपनी एक आर्मी बनाई to fight these people. Okay? Antony has joined with Caesar's great nephew Octavius and with a man called Lepidus. उसने अपना एक फोर्स बना लिया लेपिडस और ऑक्टेवियस के बाद. ऑक्टेवियस सीजर बिकेम द नेक्स्ट ग्रेट रूलर आफ्टर ऑगस्टस सीजर. ठीक है. अवे फ्रॉम रोम, Brutus and Cassius are filled with doubts about the future and quarrel over funds for their soldiers' pay. अब यहाँ पे ये लोग जो भाग के चले गए थे, ये लोग अपने आप में लड़ रहे हैं कि भैया हमारे पास पैसे नहीं, हम हाउ विल वी डील विद दिस, वी डोंट इवन हैव द मनी. So they are fighting on their own, जबकि यहाँ पे एक बड़ी फाइट होने वाली है. Okay? After making final amends, final arrangements, they prepare to engage Antony's army at Philippi, despite Cassius' misgivings about the site. Finally, उन लोगों ने डिसाइड किया कि हम एंटनी की आर्मी से लड़ेंगे कहाँ पे, फिलिपी में. दो कैसियस ने बोला था कि वो जगह सही नहीं है, he had some sort of doubt कि वो जगह सही नहीं है, वहां नहीं लड़ाई करनी चाहिए. Brutus stoically receives news of his wife's suicide in Rome. Stoically is very calmly. उसको पता चलता उसकी वाइफ वहां रोम में, she is dead, she has killed herself. He then sees Caesar's ghost as he tries to rest and is unable to sleep on the eve of the conflict. और उस रात उसको बहुत बेचैनी हो रही है. ही इज वेरी एंशियस एंड ही ऑल्सो सीज द गोस्ट. उसके सपने में गोस्ट आ रहा है सीजर का. ओके. इन द बैटल द रिपब्लिकन्स लेड बाय ब्रूटस अपीयर टू बी विनिंग एट फर्स्ट, But when Cassius' messenger's horse seems to be overtaken by the enemy, Cassius fears the worst and gets his servant to help him to a quick death. पहले तो लग रहा था कि इनकी आर्मी जीत जाएगी, that Brutus Cassius army is going to win, but later on पूरा पल्ला उल्टी तरफ चला जाता है. एंड क्या करता है केसियस अपने ही सर्वेंट से गेट्स टू डाई. उसको बोलता है तू मुझे मार दे ताकि क्विकली आई कैन डाई. ठीक है. केसियस बॉडी ब्रूटस आफ्टर फाइंडिंग केसियस बॉडी ब्रूटस कमिट सुसाइड. अब वो देखता है कि भाई मेरा जो मेरे साथ वाला है वो मर चुका है, मेरे पास कोई चांस है ही नहीं. सो ही ऑल्सो कमिट्स सुइसाइड. He believes this to be the only honorable option left to him. क्योंकि आपको सामने वाला पकड़ के मारे और आपकी बेइज्जती हो, इससे अच्छा आप खुद को मार लो. If you know the example of Hitler, Hitler ने भी खुद को मार लिया था. He had killed himself and his wife and his dog, I believe, right? So this is what happens over here also. They don't want to die, go into the enemy's hands and be killed. Antony, triumphant on the battlefield, praises Brutus as the noblest Roman of them all and orders a formal funeral before he and Octavius return to rule in Rome. Antony was a good man. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अरे ये लोग मर गए चलो अच्छा हुआ. He says that these were actually good people. चाहे वो अपने प्रिंसिपल्स में गलत हो गए, बट ही ऑनर्स देम एंड ही डिसाइड्स कि उनको एक अच्छा प्रॉपर फ्यूनरल मिलना चाहिए. Okay, now this is the whole passage. Let's go to the questions. Let's see if we remember anything from the passage in the questions. After whose speech the crowd got infuriated and the conspirator had to flee. किसकी स्पीच के बाद क्राउड को गुस्सा आया और बाकी जो लोग जिन लोगों ने कॉन्स्पिरेसी की थी अगेंस्ट योर Caesar had to run away. Obviously, the correct answer over here is Antony. Antony के speech के बाद people were very righteous. They were in murderous right. Yes, good, good. क्योंकि ब्रूटस के स्पीच के बाद वो लोग थोड़े से काम हो गए थे कि चलो ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. बट एंटनी के स्पीच के बाद they became very rebellious कि ये तो गलत हुआ. So correct answer is Antony. Those who got it, very good. Next one. Why did Mark Antony remind the crowd of Caesar's benevolent actions and denial of crown? क्यों एंटनी ने लोगों को रिमाइंड किया कि सीजर ने तुम्हारे लिए इतना अच्छा सारा काम किया? Why did he remind them of that? What was the reason? वो क्या करना चाहता था लोगों को ऐसे सीजर की अच्छी बातें बता के? सॉरी. या वो क्या बताना चाह रहा था? वो क्या करना चाह रहा था? Here the correct answer would be A. To avenge Caesar's murder by infuriating the crowd. अब वो खुद से तो कुछ अकेले कर नहीं सकता था. He could not get the revenge, right? So what did he do? He tried to make the crowd angry कि भाई तुम लोग गुस्सा होगे तो इन लोग को समझ में आएगा, तो इससे मुझे रिवेंज मिलेगा कि मेरे दोस्त को मार दिया गया है. Okay, so this is the reason why he did that. बाकी ऑप्शंस क्या है? To tell the crowd that Brutus was a noble man. वो तो ब्रूटस की बात कर नहीं रहा. यहाँ पे अगर सीजर होता तो शायद हम मानते. Brutus is the one who killed Caesar. To calm down the crowd, that's why he was killed. He was not trying to calm down the crowd. Brutus was trying to calm down the crowd. So this is also not the answer. To acquit the murders of the crime by doing so. Acquit होता है फ्री करना. वो फ्री नहीं करना चाहता है किसी मर्डरर को या जो मर्डर हुआ है उस क्राइम को. वो तो चाहता है कि उसकी सही पनिशमेंट इन लोगों को मिले. So he is not trying to do that either. So the correct answer is A. Now, who according to the given passage praises Brutus after his death? कौन है जो ब्रूटस के मरने के बाद उनको प्रेज करता है, बोलता है he is the noblest of the man in Rome. जो हमने लास्ट सेंटेंस पढ़ा था, हु वॉज दैट पर्सन, क्योंकि हमें पता है कि एक ही जन बचा था, तो बहुत ही इजी है क्योंकि उसका ओपोनेंट भी था एंड वेरी डायरेक्टली गिवन, इट इज सी, मार्क एंटनी। अगर तुम पैसेज में वापस जाओगे, इफ वी गो बैक टू द पैसेज ओवर हियर, एंटनी triumphant on the battlefield praises Brutus as the noblest of them all. So Antony is the one who is calling him the noble man. Okay, next one, vocabulary. Which of the following best expresses the meaning to the given word stoically? Stoically होता है very calm, composed. आपके फेस में कोई एक्सप्रेशन नहीं आएगा उस चीज का, चाहे वो दुख हो या खुशी हो. दैट इज बीइंग वेरी स्टोइक. एक सिचुएशन में कामनेस रखना, कंसिडरेशन रखना. ऑफ कोर्स द करेक्ट आंसर इज सी, इम्पैसिवली. इम्पैसिव, फेस में कोई एक्सप्रेशन नहीं, कोई इमोशंस नहीं दिख रहे हैं, दैट इज इम्पैसिवली. जैसे कि उसने अपनी वाइफ की डेथ की न्यूज एक्सेप्ट की इम्पैसिवली. He did not show any emotions, stoically. Okay, that is why the correct answer here would be impassively. Next one. Which of the following statements is correct according to the given passage? Now we have four statements. We have to find the one which is correct. Okay. Octavius praised Brutus, saying that he was the noblest Roman of them all. We know Octavius ने ये नहीं बोला था, ये एंटनी ने बोला था, तो this is incorrect statement. ठीक है. Lepidus stoically receives the news of his wife's suicide in Rome. Lepidus को न्यूज नहीं मिलती है, किसको न्यूज मिलती है? ब्रूटस को न्यूज मिलती है कि उसकी वाइफ हैज किल्ड हरसेल्फ. तो अपन को पता है ये भी गलत है ना. Mark Antony was Caesar's great nephew and led an army in northern Greece. Mark Antony Caesar का nephew नहीं था, वो उसका friend था. उसका nephew कौन था? Octavius. Right? तो correct, ये भी गलत हो गया. Your correct answer is D. Antony's speech stirred the crowd. It sort of created a ripple in the crowd into a murderous riot and the murderers had to flee. जो murderers थे उनको वहां से भागना पड़ा. It created such kind of riot over there. Okay. So this is how the passages are going to be. They would be simple, easy to answer. कोई टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस आपको थोड़ा सा अच्छे से पढ़ना है उनको. बहुत ही डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस होंगे. आपने अगर अच्छे से पढ़ा है, it will be easy, it will be very easy, piece of cake to answer those, right? Now coming to the next one. In the following question, 4 words are given, out of which only one word is incorrectly spelled. Find the incorrectly spelled word. Which word is incorrectly spelled? अब हमने इनमें से कुछ वर्ड सुने भी नहीं होंगे, बट ठीक है. कौन सा है? If we can guess which word. Solipsism is correctly spelled. Solipsism का मतलब होता है एक selfish person. Person जो सिर्फ अपने बारे में सोच रहा है. Self-centered person. तो इसकी spelling is correct. Stolid. Stolid की भी spelling correct है. क्यों? S-T-O-L-I-D, of course. Also, stolid means similar to stoic. Someone who is very calm, shows no emotions, कोई रिएक्शन नहीं होता है जिनका, वो होते हैं स्टॉलिड. वेरी इम्पैसिव, कोई एक्सप्रेशन नहीं. ओके, दैट इज स्टॉलिड. स्वार्थी की भी सही है स्पेलिंग. द ओनली वन विच इज इनकरेक्ट इज सॉलिसिटस. द करेक्ट स्पेलिंग ऑफ सॉलिसिटस इज दिस: I should not be here. I should not be present over here. The correct spelling would be Solicitus. Solicitous. Okay. 27. In the following question, out of the 4 alternatives, choose the one which best expresses the meaning of the given word. ठीक है, अब वर्ड आपका है capricious. अब इन चार में से बताना है कि कौन सा सिनोनिम है इसका, कौन सा बेस्ट मीनिंग इसका बता रहा है, विच वन इज एग्जैक्ट टू द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ड capricious. अब capricious होता है वॉलेटाइल, जो बहुत क्विकली चेंज होता है, क्विक टू चेंज. ठीक है, ये होता है capricious. क्विकली चेंज होता है, वेरी वॉलेटाइल, जब मन कहा जो हुआ ऐसा, इंस्टेंटेनियस चेंज जहां पे होता है. तो इसमें अब अपने पास ऑप्शन है इम्पल्सिव. अब इम्पल्सिव डज नॉट मीन इंस्टेंटेनियस चेंज, इट जस्ट मीन्स ऑन द स्पॉट कोई रिएक्शन, एक एक्शन, इम्पल्सिव. बट वो चेंज रिएक्शन है कि नहीं हमें नहीं पता, गलत. हैफिजार्ड होता है डिसऑर्डर, कहीं की चीज कहीं रखी है. जब मम्मी बोलती है तुम्हारा रूम बहुत हैफिजार्ड ऑर्डर में है, तो कहीं कुछ सामान कहीं कुछ सामान, तो हैफिजार्ड भी नहीं होगा. फ्रिवलस, फ्रिवलस वो लोग होते हैं जो बहुत ही लाइट हार्टेड जीते हैं, मतलब बहुत ही कामली कोई काम करते हैं, कोई मतलब नहीं दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है, वेरी फ्रिवलस, वेरी लाइट हार्टेड, जो हो रहा है चलने दो लाइफ में. दोज आर फ्रिवलस पीपल, दे हैव नो केयर फॉर थिंग्स. आपका एक ऑप्शन बचता है फिकल. फिकल इज वेरी क्विकली चेंजिंग. हम बोलते हैं ना उसका एटीट्यूड बहुत फिकल है, उससे नहीं, उसके साथ हम डील नहीं कर सकते. फिकल मतलब जो क्विकली चेंज होता है, वॉलेटाइल होता है, विच इज capricious. Okay, so correct answer for fickle here would be, or the capricious one would be fickle. Okay, choose the word from the options that is opposite is meaning to the given word. Word है आपका abysmal. Abysmal का मतलब होता है which is very deep, very serious, बहुत ही सीरियस सिचुएशन. ठीक है, वेरी डीप डेंजरस सिचुएशन, अबिस्मल, जिससे आप निकल नहीं सकते, बहुत घोर दुख जो होता है लाइफ में, दैट इज अबिस्मल, है ना. अब आपको इसका ऑपोजिट दिखना है, ऑपोजिट, एंटोनिम. रिपाइन क्या होता है? रिपाइन इज व्हेन यू आर कंप्लेनिंग और बीइंग सैड अबाउट समथिंग दैट हैज हैपेंड, है ना, दुख में जीना, रिपाइन. अब्रिज क्या होता है? दो चीजों का डिस्टेंस कम करना या किसी चीज को शॉर्टन करना. हम बोलते हैं ना अब्रिज्ड वर्जन ऑफ अ बुक, तो वो होता है अब्रिज. अब अब्रिज भी ये नहीं होगा बिकॉज इसका ऑपोजिट क्या है, ये इसके आसपास भी नहीं है. बॉटमलेस इज सिनोनिमस टू अबिस्मल. बॉटमलेस भी बहुत डीप होगा, हमें पता नहीं वो कहां तक जा रहा है, आपका दुख ही खत्म नहीं हो रहा, इतना बॉटमलेस दुख है. तो दिस विल ऑल्सो नॉट बी द एंटोनिम, दिस वुड बी द सिनोनिम. So the correct antonym would be shallow. Shallow क्या होता है? Not so very deep. ऊपरी layer, shallow, right? So the correct answer here would be shallow. तो abysmal होता है very deep, shallow is something on top which is not very deep. Okay. अब ऐसे phrases भी आ जाएंगे और आपको पूछा जाएगा इस phrase का meaning क्या है, और बहुत ही closely related options होंगे इसमें. ठीक है, आपका phrase है a Herculean task. आपने सुना होगा ग्रीक, अपना ग्रीक रोमन उसमें हरक्यूलिस, आपने अगर देखी होगी उसकी मूवी तो भी अच्छी बात है. हरक्यूलिस वाज वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, राइट, तो उससे रिलेटेड है. अब एक हरक्यूलियन टास्क है. ओके, अब हम देखते हैं ऑप्शंस क्या है और फिर समझते हैं कि आंसर क्या होगा. पहला ऑप्शन है अ टास्क विच रिक्वायर्स लिटिल एफर्ट. नो, हरक्यूलियन टास्क इज अ बिग टास्क, लार्ज टास्क, तो उसमें बहुत एफर्ट लगेगा, तो ये तो गलत बात है. अ टास्क विच रिक्वायर्स अ लॉट ऑफ पेशेंस. पेशेंस का यहाँ उस टास्क से कोई लेना देना नहीं, इवन दो इट इज अ लार्ज टास्क, ह्यूज टास्क, पेशेंस कितना लग रहा है हमें भी डोंट नो, गलत. अ टास्क विच रिक्वायर्स इनॉर्मस करेज. अगर मेरे पास करेज नहीं है तो मैं वो काम नहीं कर सकती क्या? ऐसा नहीं है. करेज हो या ना हो, दैट इज it's a big task, it's a huge task. Anyone, even if you don't have the courage, you have to do it, right? So the correct answer over here is D. A task which requires great effort, लार्ज एफर्ट, जिसमें तुम्हें बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि ये वो इतना वास्ट बड़ा टास्क है तो आपको बहुत एफर्ट लगा के वो काम करना है. सो अ हर्क्यूलियन टास्क इज दैट. ओके, वेरी गुड दोज हु फाउंड आउट. 30, फाइंड द करेक्टली स्पेल्ड वर्ड. अब हमें तीन इनकरेक्ट वर्ड्स हैं, इनकरेक्टली स्पेल्ड वर्ड्स है, इनमें से हमें एक बताना है विच इज द करेक्टली स्पेल्ड वर्ड. अब इजीली हम डी को तो हटा ही सकते हैं क्योंकि भैया अक्वेरियम होता है वो, है ना. तो अक्वेरम गलत है, इट इज अक्वेरियम. आई शुड बी देयर. ठीक है. बिगिनिंग, बिगिनिंग भी सबको पता है, बिगिनिंग में डबल एन आता है. बिगिनिंग, बिगिनिंग भी करेक्टली स्पेल्ड नहीं है. अब दो वर्ड्स रहते हैं, मिस डिमिनर, मनूवर. दोनों का मीनिंग भी समझ लेते हैं. मनूवर मीन्स प्लानिंग, प्लॉटिंग, एक्शन, ऐसा होता है मनूवर, है ना. मिस डिमिनर होता है गलत बिहेवियर, रॉन्ग बिहेवियर. ओके, मिस से आपको समझ में आता है. तो misdemeanor is the one which is incorrectly spelled because the correct spell, and this is of course incorrectly spelled, misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. A is missing. Okay, so the correctly spelled word is C, maneuver. Even though doubtful लगता है, MANOEUVRE. Maneuver is the correctly spelled word. Now, select the opposite in meaning to expansion. Expand होना, बढ़ना, खिंचना. एक्सपेंशन का अब हमें एंटोनिम चूज करना है, ऑपोजिट इन मीनिंग चूज करना है. ठीक है. एक्सटेंशन भी वही है, खिंचना, बढ़ना, एक्सटेंड होना. इन्फ्लेशन होता है राइज, राइट. इन्फ्लेशन इज ऑल्सो राइज, तो ये भी बढ़ रहा है, कुछ इंक्रीज हो रहा है. ठीक है. ऑगमेंटेशन इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीज, राइज. ओके, सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर इज सी, कंप्रेशन, घटना, दबाना, डिक्रीज करना. ओके, ऑपोजिट वुड बी कंप्रेशन. Next one. Select the word which means the same as the group of words given. A student who idly और विदाउट एक्सक्यूज गेट्स एब्सेंट. ये अपन ने भी बहुत बार किया है ना कि स्कूल मतलब बंक मारना, जिसको हम बोलते हैं कि चलो ठीक है अब नहीं जाते हैं, कोई कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है, कोई रीजन नहीं है, बस हम बंक मारे, हम घूमने चले गए. तो ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स को क्या कहा जाता है? ओके, द करेक्ट आंसर इज सी, ट्रूआंट. इसको ऐसे एक्सप्रेशंस में लिया जाता है, शी वॉज प्लेइंग ट्रूआंट फ्रॉम स्कूल. Okay, so she was getting this sort of action she was doing and she was remaining from school. She was not going to the school. Okay, so she was playing truant. Vagrant क्या होता है? A person who moves from one place to another. Itinerant भी वही होता है, but these are not in the context of a student. These can be anyone. Migrant also someone who moves from one place to another. Okay, so but these are not with reference to your school wala part. Next, select the most appropriate meaning of the idiom to play ducks and drakes. To play ducks and drakes. अब इसमें तो हम कुछ ट्रिक कैसे लगाएंगे? ducks and drakes. Actually the correct answer is A, to use recklessly. कोई भी चीज हो उसको बहुत ही कैजुअली, रेकलेसली यूज करना होता है टू प्ले डक्स एंड ड्रेक्स. जैसे कि he had got a lot of inheritance from his father, but he played ducks and drakes with the money and lost it all. तो he used that money, उसको इतना सारा पैसा मिला, but he used that money very carelessly, recklessly, यहाँ वहां खर्चा किया and he lost it. Okay, so to play ducks and drakes is to use something, do something very recklessly. Okay. Next, select the synonym of the given word. Chronic. हम बोलते हैं ना किसी को chronic disease हो गई है, वो chronic patient है. Okay, so chronic क्या होता है? Something which has been happening for a very long time, जो चलता आ रहा है बहुत दिनों से, जिसके खत्म होने की कोई संभावना हमें लग नहीं रही है. Correct answer here is B, persistent, which has been permanent, जो बहुत टाइम से चलता आ रहा है. Okay, that is chronic. Fine. Examining, not relevant. Ordinary, not relevant. And temporary is the opposite of chronic. Temporary, which might be there for some time and which you would like get cured of easily. या ज़्यादा time तक नहीं चलने वाला. Temporary इसका opposite होगा. So correct answer over here is B, persistent. 30. Select the most appropriate word to fill in the blanks. American children have less independence and dash today than they did a few generations ago. क्या नहीं है? अब उनके पास लेस इंडिपेंडेंस है तो हमें पता चल रहा है ये हम बात कर रहे हैं एक नाउन वर्ड, हमें इसको एक नाउन वर्ड से फिल करना है. ठीक है, सो करेक्ट ऑप्शन यस एज यू गाइस गेस्ड इज बी, ऑटोनॉमी. ऑटोनॉमी इज डिसीजन मेकिंग, आपको अलाउड है अपने लिए, दैट फ्रीडम टू डिसाइड फॉर योरसेल्फ इज ऑटोनॉमी. ऑटोनमस यहाँ पे फिट नहीं होगा बिकॉज इट डज नॉट गो विद द फैक्ट दैट हमने इंडिपेंडेंस एक स्पीच में बोला है, पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच में, और ऑटोनमस दूसरा पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच, वो गलत हो जाएगा. राइट, इंटेंशनली नॉट फिटिंग, फ्री भी नहीं. अगर फ्रीडम होता तो हम शायद इसको कंसिडर करते, बट फ्री विल ऑल्सो नॉट बी फिटिंग हियर. नेक्स्ट, select the correct figure of speech used. Pride goeth forth on horseback, grand and gay. So pride moves forward एक horseback पे, very grand and gay, very happy, chirpy. Pride is happy. What would be the answer for this one? This one you guys should tell me. What would be the answer for this one? Pride goeth forth on horseback, grand and gay. सोचो सोचो, प्राइड हॉर्स बैक पे चल के जा रहा है, हॉर्स बैक में प्राइड ट्रैवल कर रहा है. प्राइड इज नॉट ह्यूमन, प्राइड इज नॉट ह्यूमन. तो क्या होगा इसका आंसर? सोचो सोचो सोचो. Actually, the correct answer is A, personification. Pride is not a human entity, है ना? पर आपने बोल दिया pride goeth forth on horseback. मतलब तुम बोल रहे हो pride is traveling on horseback. How can pride travel on horseback? It is not human. And it is also very grand and gay. Gay as in happy. How can pride be happy? So that is why you have given human qualities to something which is not human. That is why personification. यहाँ पे कोई साउंड वर्ड्स नहीं यूज हुए हैं, इसलिए इट इज नॉट ओनोमैटोपिया. एंटीथीसिस होता है जब टू ऑपोजिट आइडियाज आर ब्रॉट इन वन सेंटेंस. यहाँ पे कोई दो ऑपोजिट या नॉट सो गोइंग टुगेदर आइडियाज हमने नहीं लिए हैं. एंड लास्ट है ऑक्सीमोरॉन. अगेन, टू ऑपोजिट वर्ड्स प्लेस्ड नेक्स्ट टू ईच अदर इज ऑक्सीमोरॉन. यहाँ कोई टू ऑपोजिट वर्ड्स हमने साथ में नहीं रखे. करेक्ट आंसर इज ए, personification. Okay, now guys, we are done with today's session of English over here. I hope it helped you, it made you realize, or it helped boosting your confidence when you are answering कि wow, ये तो मुझे आता है, ये मुझसे बन रहा है, and it helped you with your preparation also, है ना? I'll just quickly tell you that today on 27th April we have this test of English language and general test. Please use this opportunity and be a part of it. Okay, and quickly take a break and come back, join for the next session. Okay, see you everyone tomorrow. I had a lot of fun joining you guys. I hope you did too. Thank you everyone. See you. Please make a note. Thank you. See you.